Hi, I'm Spencer Stork, and I'm here with Pat Patterson, who is founder and manager of Carolina Association Management and Carolina Realty of Charlotte. First off, what is CAM all about?
CAM stands for Carolina Association Management, and we manage homeowners associations, which include townhomes, single-family homes, condominiums.
Okay. What made you want to start this company?
I started in '76 getting my real estate license and jumping into building and construction, and with that came townhomes, which they had to have somebody do property management, and then that was naturally an association that was required at that time. So that just evolved and developed into real estate.
Okay. Describe the typical activities that are included in your working day.
I guess there are two things basically that my day consists of, because no matter how routine it may start, emergencies come up, so you have to put out the fires. And then on the other hand, the basic thing is just educating the people in the associations. If they have a problem, they'll always claim they didn't know it was an association. So you're constantly educating them, telling them what it's about, and giving them really a homeowner concept, and both the board members as well as the members in the community.
What are two of your most critical managerial problems?
I think finance. The company's broken down into two major areas: finance and admin. And administrative deals with the violation letters and dealing more so with the people with all their problems of not cutting grass and that kind of thing. So again, educating them, writing the letters, and solving their problems in a polite yet consistent with everybody situation. And then the finance is a struggle with trying to work with people, especially in today's economy, that are struggling themselves, yet having to place liens, having to ultimately refer them to foreclosure if necessary. So those are two things that are two sides of the company that are major, and of course a lot of the detail going into that, but it's just constantly, which is a lot of fun working with people, but there's a lot of heartbreaks on situations that are going on. Grass, for instance, not cut because I can't afford the lawnmower. Don't have a job, haven't had one 2.5 years, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't pay the association fees because I don't have a job, that kind of thing.
How do you combat with those? Like, what are your reactions to?
Well, I look at everybody as a client, and because those members could be elected to the board eventually, and of course, being on the board, if I upset them to the point that they're mad at me, they could ultimately maybe get me off that account. In other words, change management companies. So client first is a real situation with CAM, and what the C stands for. A stands for accentuate harmony, or promote harmony with everything we do. Try to be polite in every way that we can. And then the M in CAM stands for maintaining training. And of course I train my staff the best I can by going to seminars, being members of some of the national organizations like the Community Association Institute, and then my own training of them and from my experience. And then, but really being the other side of the training is, like I said, the education of the board and those members so that they can appreciate what we're doing, and try to sell it to them that we're just here to be fair and appreciate their situations, respect them, but just make it day by day.
What would you say are 3 essential skills needed to be a successful manager in your line of work?
I'd say you need strong people skills. You need education. book knowledge is critical, but hands-on experience is where really the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And I think the other thing is realize that this is not personal, that what you're doing is it will have the personal effect on the people that you're dealing with as well as yourself, but you're just following some standards that have been set up in writing, guidelines if you will, and you have to enforce them. And enforcing does not always mean that you can't waive on some things and give more time to resolve it, because time has a way of healing a lot of situations. Like without having a job right now today, maybe in 90 days you will, you catch up what has been a problem and move forward.
Okay. What would you say about your other ones, why you selected those?
Why I selected what other ones now?
The first one for...
CAM?
Yeah.
Client first?
Yeah, client
Well,
first.
I look at everybody as a client. A client is someone that's just out there that I can do business with, regardless. It may not be today, it may be tomorrow, that they become wanting me to manage their property or their association. So everybody is a client to me. The client is who pays me.
Okay.
But the client is not, in every case, the person that I'm talking to is not the client. The other side of that, though, is I like to gain knowledge through talking with people, because their experiences and my experiences together sometimes shed a different approach or light on an issue that maybe I hadn't thought of before, that they've experienced, that is helpful in my business. The other one that I talked to about promoting harmony, there's no need to get in a fight. You know, people all the time talk about, I'm going to sue you and that kind of thing. And unfortunately, most of the time, you have to get to the courthouse and the judge will tell you, one of you, meaning one of the sides, is not going to like the outcome. Why don't y'all go out in the hall and solve this thing so I or the jury do not have to make a decision? Well, I feel you get more knowledge out of being polite and trying to figure out some way that'll work without giving away the farm, without admitting that you're wrong, because you probably aren't, but being humble enough to make each other feel good about it, and it's a win-win. The main thing is that you're going to lose something, and I'm going to lose something, meaning we give it up. So, as an attorney told me, if both of you gave something up, then you know it was a good deal. Might not have liked it, but you know it was a fair deal.
What reasons do you feel contribute to most managerial failure?
I think failure to have a vision. If you work with me, I've got enough experience that I know where I want to go. I need you to follow through and make sure the goals that we put in place through both vision and your skills of getting the people to do it, if you will, come together and make it happen. So I think you're my other half, so to speak, as far as we working together to make it happen in total.
Okay. Can you provide one real-world example of this that you've witnessed? Of the failure of...
Yeah. I think that one thing I try to do is when we do not win in an interview to get an account, we go back over it. And that's a failure. Whatever we said, didn't do, body language, whatever, we missed the boat. Maybe we didn't carry them all a little bag of candy and so forth and get their attention in some fashion. Maybe we didn't convince them that we had the right program and the skills to tailor to their needs. Something we did wrong, and that happens every time I lose an interview. I don't lose too many, but you do go back, kind of like losing a basketball game. But on the other hand, I think what is really more critical than losing is when we win, sit down and say, why did we win? What did we do right that we can still improve on? But pat ourselves on the back and appreciate those accomplishments and then tweak on those to get that much better.
Can you give me a few examples of control problems and power struggles which you've had to face?
Control problems, I would say, in a way, is with your personnel that you hire within the company. Being here on time, staying focused, getting the job done with the deadline that is set. If something is to be out by the 10th of the month, you need to gear to that and make sure it gets out on that day. No exceptions, no excuses, and realizing a hurricane could come through. But I'm talking about in a routine day, you plan far enough ahead that it'll come together with that deadline. The other side, what was your other side of that?
The one was about power struggles.
The power struggle that you have, I feel, a lot of times is the political side of the boards. A lot of people will be elected to the board or will volunteer to serve on the board in cases, and it's very self-serving. So the power is they want to do it their way, which is either far right, no drifting one way or the other, or you get them that's far left. In other words, far right is we're going to go by the book, we're going to throw the book at them if they don't do, and the far left is we're going to party every day and spend all the money and forget about it. And also the power struggle is take the personalization out of it. I don't like you, so I'm going to fine you $100 a day. But over here is, Susan, and she doesn't cut her grass either. But she works at the pool every day, and da-da-da-da-da. So therefore, we're going to only fine her $15 a day. It's not right. If she doesn't cut her grass, you don't cut yours. It's you need to be treated the same consistently. That isn't to say that the bottom line is that if I fine you $50 a day and her $50 a day, if you do what you say you're going to do, cut my grass in 10 days, and you've accumulated 10 times 50, $500, it's not to say that we excuse the fine. All we wanted you to do was cut the grass. And that's what but sometimes the power is, no, we're going to keep the fine on there. I don't like them. They've always been a problem. So that's political more than anything else.
All right. Do you hire any interns, student workers, temporary employees?
Yes, I do, but I hire them under the umbrella of their parents.
Okay.
In other words, I allow the children to come in. They make copies for us. They run around carrying mail back and forth or whatever, and kind of use them as a delivery system. And then I pay the parent a little more who they give to the child.
What would you say are two disadvantages to having employees like that in your workplace?
The supervision, the distraction of other people wanting to take time away from really their job that day. But the overall winning is that it shows an appreciation that we're family oriented and like to have the kids here and the animals sometimes to come in and visit with us, and there's a lot of smiles and camaraderie from that standpoint.
Do you find hiring specific North Carolina state citizens to be of particular advantage to your work?
No.
No.
Not, you want to hire someone that, number one, wants to work. The goal is that they need to be happy. You need to pay them fairly, but they got to have the skill. And if they've got a good attitude and come in here with the skills, then they will be happy and will be highly productive.
Can you give me an example of a stressful situation for you at work and how you coped with it?
Yes. A stressful situation would be we have a deadline to meet, and handing it off to somebody that, because they may not have fully understood due to lack of experience the full scope of what it's going to take to get the job done, the constant follow-up and so forth to make sure it gets done, because they don't look at the individual that was helping me to get it done. They just say Cam didn't do it if we miss whatever goal that we set to try to get done. So that's we work real hard on keeping stress down. We probably yell when we should be more polite and go sit in the corner, so to speak, and cool off a little bit. But I find that if you can get people excited through leadership, it's easy to fire people. Never have a problem with that. I haven't fired very many because I haven't had to. They fire themselves, is my philosophy. But the stress of getting that, and then the stress of a new person coming in. If you work with that person and mold them, they can make you a lot of money, meaning in experience and what they do for the company in the long run. If you give up on them, I don't like you because so-and-so and so, meaning it's more personal and you forget the issues. It becomes a bigger problem because of what you spend in time and having to start over every time someone leaves. They may not be happy. They can feel that if they're not there. So the stress of starting over with new people is very difficult. But if you get the right people, skill level and so forth, the stress may be there initially, but it'll win you big bucks in the end.
Do you have specific rules you follow for delegating tasks to employees?
Yes, I have what I hope is, in every case, a bunch of leaders. And I tell them that they are leaders, and I expect them to lead, and the best ones are the ones that come back and say, I need more to do, or can you show me how to do that better? Or they come with ideas of how to do it better. A lot of times we look at things and we say this is the only way to do it because we do it so routinely, it's just the way it is. But if they are out there and they see a better way to do it, I appreciate it when they bring it to me. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to change because they may not see the total picture. But I want somebody that is going to be innovative, at least looking at ideas, and then if we can change, fine. If we can't, we can't.
Sure. And you feel these work really well?
Yeah.
Okay. How successful has your company been?
Very successful. I'm proud to say that I'm still here when a lot of other people are struggling, and that's not to say that I'm not struggling in the economy, but I'm saying that I think I have enough solid foundation in taking it a day at a time, step by step, to build a base of employees and a base of clients that know that we're here for the good of their association, and I feel real good about that.
Do you enjoy managing this company?
At times. Have you got a contract offer or you want to buy it out today? Had a friend tell me he had a contract, he just didn't have the buyer to go with it. But yes, I've enjoyed it very much. It's been, as you mentioned with the question earlier about stressful, there are ups and downs in everything that you do. And it's how you rebound and keep going. And that's part of the challenge. And I've truly enjoyed, this is my life. I mean, this is my hobby and everything. If you talk to my wife, I'm in trouble because I'm here. Why don't I just put a cot here sometimes and spend the night and stay here? But I really do enjoy dealing with people. And that's what life's all about when you get right down to it.
Okay.